What is up, guys, and welcome back to Bob's Watches. My name is Brittany, aka Watch Gringa. We're going to be looking at watches from amazing brands like Oris, Breitling, Tudor, and more. And who knows, maybe you'll like one of these more than the iconic Submariner. I mean, it only felt right to start the list here with the Oris Aquis date. This might just be one of my all-time favorite dive watches, and I hate to say it, it feels like such a cliche YouTuber things to say, but the value for money, how much watch you're getting for such a low price, it's just... With the Oris Aquis, you're getting a great looking watch, sunburst dial, ceramic bezel, kind of an Oyster style bracelet, but with the polished outer links. One of my favorite details about this watch is the applied hour markers, so high polish and just beautifully done. This watch offers you 300 meters water resistance, and it's powered by the Sellita SW200-1, a tried and tested movement. On the wrist, I find the Aquis does wear a little bit clunky and chunky, but for me, that just adds to the tool watch charm. There's a 43.5mm variation available on Bob's watches, but it also comes in a 36.5 and a 41.5mm. Sticking on the Oris Aquis theme, because they just make fantastic dive watches, let's talk about the Diver 65. So I found this one on the Bob's website, and I just thought it was quite quirky and fun and different. So this one's a two-tone stainless steel and bronze version. And once again, it's just a little bit more of that vintage aesthetic. So this watch honors the Oris dive watch designs from the 1960s. I don't know what it is, but I'm so in love with the heritage dive watch aesthetic. And if you like this one, it comes in a variety of sizes, materials, colors, so there really is something for everyone. Looking at the specs, the Oris Divers have a 100 meter to 300 meter water resistance, depending on which specific model you're looking at. Either way, more than you'll use, if you're being honest with yourself. Date complication and powered by the automatic Oris 733 based on the Sellita SW200-1 movement. Value for money, brand recognition, Oris is just the one. Moving up the price point ladder and onto my personal favorite dive watch, the watch I'm wearing right now. So the Tudor Black Bay 58. If you know me, then you know it was gonna have to come here at some point. This is my personal Submariner alternative. So I've actually been offered a couple of Rolex Submariners now, and I've said no to both because I'm so happy with my Black Bay 58, and I really don't feel the need to add another dive watch to my collection. So the design code is an adaptation from their first dive watches of the 1950s, namely from the year 1958, when Tudor first produced a diver's watch with a water resistance up to 200 meter. This watch was first released in 2018 in the black and gilt, and then in 2020 they added the blue variation, which is the one I'm wearing today. Diving into the specs, so this watch there's no pun intended there. Oh, it's so cringe. Okay. Looking at the specs, this watch has a 39mm case, so that perfect unisex size, aluminium or aluminum bezel giving you more of a matte look than a high gloss shine, which you'd get from ceramic, and I much prefer the matte finish, and 200 meters water resistance. Inside this watch is the in-house manufacturer caliber MT5402 COSC certified movement. The only big complaint many people have with this watch is the bracelet and the faux rivets. I've said it once and I'll say it again. You literally never notice them. When you're wearing this watch, you will never notice the faux rivets, but I know people have a real gripe with it, so I thought I should include it, but it doesn't bug me at all. If it does bug you, it looks really good on the NATO strap as well. This is my forever dive watch. I will never sell it on. This is with me till the end. Now this is a watch that's making a lot of waves at the moment, the Breitling. I did it again. There was no pun intended in the waves. But this watch is making a lot of waves right now, the Breitling SuperOcean. If you follow watch news, you'll already know Breitling has just updated the design of their SuperOcean's line. Sadly, not a movement makeover, but this is neither here nor there. But the particular watch I want to highlight is the SuperOcean Heritage model. So when I think Breitling, I usually think aviation and not diving. But they've been in the dive watch game basically since its advent. So the SuperOcean was introduced in 1957, only 4 years after the 50 Fathoms, the world's first dive watch. So this particular model pays tribute to the original 1957 model, but with a modern twist. Inside this watch we have the Breitling caliber B20 movement, giving you 70 hours of power reserve. Just something a bit different and cool and quirky, and a much needed break from the Submariners that we see over and over and over again. Last but not least, we need to talk about Rolex's top competitor, Omega. I always think of the Omega Seamaster as the thinking man's Rolex Submariner, but it does have some contentious design language. There are those easy parts to love, like the wave dial, the scalloped bezel, the date window without the garish cyclops. But then there's those controversial parts, like the helium escape valve and that busy bracelet. So the Omega Seamaster is actually a watch I didn't really like for a very long time, and I'm only recently being won over to it. I just couldn't get over that helium escape valve at the top. I just found the design so jarring. But I've just spent a couple of weeks with the Omega Seamaster Professional 225450, and honestly, I've just fallen in love with it. Perfect size, perfect thickness. The helium escape valve really adds this tool watch charm to it. It reminds you of the purpose of this watch. And this specific reference, so the 225450, has the more Speedmaster style bracelet. It has officially won me over to the Seamaster. And the signature Omega coaxial movement. If you're a bit hesitant on the modern Seamaster bracelet, which doesn't really float my boat, but it's totally okay if it floats yours, you can always get it on a rubber strap, or there's always the titanium 007 edition. Now, I actually haven't seen this one in person yet, and I'm dying to get hands-on with it. Of course, worn by the Daniel Craig era James Bond. And it looks so vintage, it feels so vintage with that healthy dose of Fotina, and of course in titanium rather than steel, so it's so light on the wrist. Anyways guys, I'm just blathering on here. Should we stop it here? I don't know. There's a lot of great Submariner alternatives still out there. We have 50 Fathoms, we have all sorts. As always, these are just some of my opinions, and these are my 5 favorite Rolex Submariner alternatives. We would love to hear yours in those comments down below. And don't forget to do all those awesome things to feed the YouTube algorithm gods. Give this video a like, comment, and if you're not subscribed to Bob's Watches, come on now, get subscribed. And until next time, you fabulous watch people.